Well, hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back in. It is Oric Blackwood, and we are going to dive into the second pillar that I have made, the foundation of the Metamorphosis Society, and that is awaken. Oh yes, this can be overwhelming for people. This stage is a lot, but I'm going to again be your noise canceling headphones, and I'm going to make it fun for you. Okay, like it's all about changing this picture frame you have on this metamorphosis journey you're on into something that is more positive, because change is good and it doesn't have to be all bad. It can be fun too. And that's why I'm doing this. Okay. So if you saw the last video, you need to watch it before you watch this one. But the first pillar is disrupt. Okay. Yeah. Not only am I going to come in and be that big old like genie that's going to disrupt your life, but like life hands you a disruption moment. We talked all about what that is. And I kind of look at it like, I'm like a scribe over here, honey. I love me a notebook. I look at the disruption phase. I wrote down, it was like, you know, when you're out at the club and you're just like, yes, bitch, now if I go clubbing, honey, I need to be home by 9. Like if I drank more than one drink, I would be on life support the next morning. Like I'm 40 and it's just, I know I don't look 40, it's fine. But it's like you're out at the club, like in your 20s or whatever, and you're like dancing, you're having a good time, and the lights are low, you got the neon lights. Hell, I remember going, like in college, I would go to play Nashville. That's where I fell in love with men. And I'd be up there and it would be like, stay out until like the club will close at like 3. And it was like at 2:55. They would have like, you know, the final song and you're just dancing, you found your guy, but it's dark in there and you're a little drunk, you're a little tipsy or whatever you're on and all that stuff. And then the lights come on and you realize you have been dancing with a homeless person that literally looks like he's done 80 lines of cocaine and hasn't bathed in 20 years. But with the lights off, he looked like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. But you were looking at him through your beer goggles, honey. You were a little drunk and you're just like, yeah, I was feeling this. And the lights come on, you're like, oh, fuck. This is probably a bad decision. So that's what I kind of look at it as, the disruption period. That's what I equate that to. But then once you disrupt and you wake up to it, then you can question like, oh yeah, I really wasn't looking at that, like at the real situation. That's not what this person loves and all that stuff. So maybe that's not a good life choice. And that's where the awakening part is, because if the lights don't come home, honey, you don't know what the fuck's going on. So like I was saying in the disruption part, it's like that the disruption is what's led me here today. It's like, again, it's like I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't be behind this camera with you guys. So the disruption part we know is necessary. It's not always fun, but when you can restructure how you're looking at it, it leads you to the next phase, which is the awakening. And my awakening, it's, you know, awakenings, they're not pretty. They're brutal, but they're necessary, okay? And, you know, like with my disruption, you know, my thing with the aesthetics was that I woke up, did recognize myself, and had the filler reaction. So I got to the point though, and the thing that woke me up, the disruption, AKA the filler reaction, caused me to wake up to the fact that I looked around and I didn't recognize who I was. I didn't recognize my life anymore. Like it was great, and it was grand. This was like whenever I was just like, you know, post on Instagram and it would bring me like 30, 40 grand worth of business, like worth of lip filler. Like I was being requested left and right, like money was coming in, all of this stuff. I mean, I was living the life, hunty. Like I had a #1 podcast. Like, which is, if you're listening on podcasts, this is it. And like living the life. And then literally, rug got pulled up out from underneath me. But I realized, like, that moment when I got out of the hospital and stuff, when I looked in the mirror, I was like, I don't recognize myself. Like, I don't recognize the life that I'm in right now. Like, oh my God, what is this? And it was like when I tried to come back and I took a little break from social media, which of course it tanked my engagement. Thanks, Meta. Fuck you. And that platform. But it literally like, it was like I was in this dream, aka the life that I was living was like a dream, and then I woke up from it. Or like in the Matrix video when they get unplugged and they're like, wait a minute, I'm this like, what is this like? Wait a minute, I'm not in the thing. It was like literally waking up and unplugging myself from the Matrix as I could talk about it. And I didn't recognize anything. I didn't like anything I saw. Like aesthetics, it was like I had lost my identity. Like I become Talks Josh. Like, well, where was Josh? Like, I didn't have hobbies. I didn't do anything. All I did was work. And I when I tried to go back into it, I was like, this ain't it. I felt like a stranger that was dropped into like Dorothy, like in The Wizard of Oz. Like she's like, whoa, but it was reversed. Instead of seeing the world in color, my world was black and white and full of filler. I was like, what is this? So, but that's the thing. The magic happens, and that's where the transformation starts to happen, is when you wake up to the systems that we're in. And we're going to talk a lot today about systems. And the systems, which I mean, the world in which we live in, aka the Matrix, if you want to think of it that way. Like that, when you start to become aware of your surroundings and like in a different lens than of like, oh, this is fine, and just going through the world asleep in whatever world you were told to live in. When you can wake up to that and recognize them, you have to recognize that first. You have to have that disruptive moment. Then you have to wake up to it and be like, oh shit, this is not what, huh? That is where the magic starts to shift. And again, like I said, it's not pretty. It's fucking brutal, but you got to keep going. And the thing, like the reason why, like I titled it this, what is it? You've been lied to, sweetie, why most people stay asleep. Why is that? Because they want you to stay asleep. Asleep people are easy to control. Asleep people get and stay in this system that is designed against them from the very get-go. So you wake up into this thing, and then a lot of people fall back to it. They have the disruption, but then in the awakening part, they're just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna ignore that, and I'm just gonna go right back into it. Like they get fronted with a mirror and they're like, I don't want to look at that, so I'm just going to go back to the old ways. And then, but like we learned in the last video, the universe is going to throw something at you again, and it could be even worse to wake your ass up. Okay, so it might as well just be like, hey, I've had a disruption, and instead of looking at it in this way, I'm going to look at it as like, okay, cool, what is this trying to teach me? That's when you can get to the awaken part. And that's kind of it's a scary part, but if you look at it that way. And it can be scary, like waking, like if I fell asleep and I woke up in the middle of the jungle the next day and just woke up and I was like, oh, where am I at? I'd be fucking terrified. But I could also be like, oh, I'm in a jungle. Like, where's a waterfall? Where's all these things? Where's this adventure that I could go on, this new adventure? So there's different ways. Like if you've ever read the last lecture, if you haven't, it's a short read, but it was incredible. It was about a guy, I think he had pancreatic cancer, and he was a professor, and he did his last lecture, and they wrote a book based on his last lecture. And there was a question there that changed my life. And it was, you have one choice in life. You could be Tigger or Eeyore. And I love me a Winnie the Pooh. And I was like, something so stupid simple, but so profound that has stuck with me. I read that in Belmont nursing school, so in 2008, 2009, and it's still one of the most profound things ever. You can either be Tigger or Eeyore. You're gonna go through life regardless, so it's how you look at it. Are we gonna be Tigger, which is gonna be fun? Are you gonna like hold my hand and we're gonna go on this journey together? Or am I gonna have to drag you by the hair of your head, Eeyore, or by your tail? You know what I mean? So it's like when you can switch and like, how am I looking at life? How am I looking at all this stuff that's going to be thrown at you in this wake-up call? I can look at it through two lenses. So I'm choosing, if I know the disruption's happening for a reason to wake me up, to get me on a purpose, then it's a little bit better, because then looking at it as, oh, this disruption's meant to fuck me up. No, it's like really meant to help you elevate and become the person you're supposed to. Suddenly, this stuff is a little bit more palpable, okay? Speaking of which, I gotta hydrate. I'm not sponsored by them, but the Liquid IV, the blue cotton candy, titties, love it. And if you're not familiar with gay culture, when I say something's titties, that means it's good. Okay, love it. But the wake up. So here I am, the things, and it's kind of two things. I had to wake up not only in the industry I was with my career, but I had one in my personal life as well. Like, here's this industry that I was like thriving in, loved it, honey. Got me on stages, all these people. I'm showing up, making people beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. And lips and tucks and filler. Oh my, all the things. Like people look at this industry and like, and I glamorized it on my social media, like, and caused a lot of injectors to join the aesthetics industry. They're like, oh my God, that looks wonderful. And now everybody, it's like med spas are blowing up like fucking syphilis. And it's like they're on every corner. But it's like, it looks on the surface to be this glamorized industry. Honey, it is as fake as people's fucking faces in it, let me tell you. And it was as fake as mine. I had all this filler in my face and like, trying to be, so caught up in looks. But I go around and I'm like, this industry is broken. Like I wrote down some things like what like what I woke up to in the aesthetics. Body dysmorphia disorder is rampant. And it woke me up that like, I have this disorder and like, this isn't serving me anymore. I gotta wake up to it. Like, and what better way than to address body dysmorphic disorder than to have a person who had a face full of filler dissolved out and have to go back to the way he used to look and face his real self. Yeah, talk about fucking terrifying. But it woke me up to the fact that I was like, wow, we're making unethical money in this industry by saying yes to people who are broken, who are literally searching for a quick fix with a needle when they need fucking therapy. You know, I was one of them. And like the fake peeps, Lord Huddy, I had so many friends. Yeah, no ma'am. No, in aesthetics, you don't have friends. You have snakes that are like, oh yeah, so like Jafar's, I love Aladdin. Oh, love Aladdin. And Jafar, honey, you know you're homosexual. And Disney, thank you for portraying him like you did, because I'm pretty sure he's bisexual. Anyways, they had his staff, and you're looking in that snakes thing, and it's like, you are this, and it's like people, and they're just doing that to take control of you, or to, I looked up and I was surrounded by people, friends that just wanted to use me for my name, or companies that wanted to use me for my name and to make them money, or people that'd be like, oh my God, talks Josh, and oh my God, blah, blah, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, and I'm just like ignorant Eli over here, and like thinking everybody has my best interest, and they don't. And they will stab you in the back in 2.5 seconds. That's what I was literally living in. But before my face blew up, I was like, why am I anxious? Why am I depressed? Why? You should be the happiest person on earth. Like, you've got fame in your industry, you are rolling in the dough, you are doing what you thought you wanted to be doing, like you're living the life that you literally dreamed of. Like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Well, that was part of the disruption too, is I was questioning everything. I'm like, why am I anxious? Why am I, boom. But I was ignoring it and going back into the matrix because I'm just sitting over here like, oh, life is good. Shut up. Stop complaining. You know what I mean? But I literally woke up and realized too that like, God, the reason why you're doing all this stuff and allowing these companies and people, like, you don't have fucking boundaries. You don't even know how to spell boundaries, let alone have one. Like, what is this? And it was a broken system. You know, people, it's like a female, broken people coming in, let's put a Band-Aid over a bullet hole, and then going out, they're still broken, but with a fake face. Like a little, you know, like, it's like that depression commercial when they've got like the fan, it's a face that goes in front, and they're really, it's just masking. That's what I was living in and thriving in. Yeah. And for that to happen, and for me to come back to it, you think I would just whatever, but something happened when my face did that to cause me to look at it with different glasses when I came back. And I was like, yeah, I don't recognize this, and I don't like this. This is what I was living in. This is it. Yeah, this is icky. And I never recovered from that, which is why you see me now behind the camera and all that. And I've completely shifted gears into this coaching and this, you know, to help people on their journey of doing the same thing. I'm here to disrupt your fucking life and wake you up to the bullshit so you can transform. And I'm going to be here all along the way to help you thrive. And so that was not only in my career stuff, but also the personal stuff. Like, I woke up in real life and like realized I'm living a life that's not my own. Like, it's the life I thought I wanted, but then I was like, this isn't my life. I'm a product of the system. I'm literally a product of the aesthetics world. Like, I'm as fake as my own fucking face. I'm preaching authenticity over here, and then, but yet I'm like still saying yes to people that need therapy. Like, what the fuck is this? And like, and then I'm sitting here going like, I've lost my identity in my career. Like, who's Josh at this point? Like, what do you do for fun? I don't fucking know. Like, I used to do music. I used to do this. I used to do that. And like, I don't do any of that anymore. It was all work, no play. And again, it was like, what is this? Like, what is this system? I woke up to kind of this system. Like, there's got to be more to life. Like, I'm just work, so I can make, and do, so I can buy, and consume. And it was this vicious cycle that I realized this is a system that we're living in, and it's fucking broken. Like, what happened? Where did we go wrong? Where did we fuck up? You like all this stuff? I'm like, we literally, the only species on planets that pays to live here. Animals, they have their food, They have a community or all this stuff. And like, they're just like, they're probably looking at us like, what these fools doing? Like, we can grow our own food. We can do all this stuff, but like, we're in this system. Like, I love red bottom shoes. I love me some Gucci, but I was literally spending thousands of dollars for shoes. For each that I was like, nope, I gotta have a new pair of shoes because I can't rewear the same ones because like they're expecting me to like show up on stage and that's my brand. That's like what I do. Like, fuck off. Like, I'm like, do you know how many houses in Rwanda I could have built for that? Like, it's stupid. It's sickening. What am I doing? Like, but the system is designed to keep us in that scarcity consumerized mindset. And I didn't realize that I was taking part of that. I didn't even realize it was a thing. But like this disruption helped me wake up to that in this world that I didn't really recognize. It also helped me to wake up, oh my God, relationships. Like it's so cute when you think that monogamy is the only way. You gotta go to school, you gotta find your partner, you gotta get married immediately, then you gotta have kids, you gotta have the house and the picket fence. And that's what life is. Whoa, child. No. I woke up to the fact that like I am polyamorous and I had no fucking clue what that was about. And we're gonna deep dive into this. I am gonna go into relationships later on. And if you're sitting here realizing, be like, why do I always feel like I'm that? Like, I'm gonna walk you through that. It's a whole other topic. We're not even gonna peel the first layer off of that. But I woke up like, everything is a construct. Like, they tell you there's monogamy as the only way because it's the only mainstream way, but there's so other many ways to have a relationship. You don't have to get married. Like, marriage isn't for everybody. Like, I was like, wow, I'm trying to conform to this system and nothing feels right because I'm not the same person. And then success, that was the thing I woke up to. Like success, what I thought success had to be is that you got to make the most money. You got to buy the nice car, the fancy shoes, you have the successful industry, especially in aesthetics. I had to have this big med spa. I had to have like so many employees. I had to have multiple locations, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Well, I had all that. And I was still the most miserable person I'd ever been because I was living a life to try to do success based on what a system was telling me success had to be. Like success was what the world tells me it has to look like. Hustle culture. Honey, hustle culture is so dead. It is so dead. I woke up to that. I'm like, I am go, go, go. And I realized because I did the work, I realized that I was in a system for my story is that I had to go, go, go and do, because if I was go, go, going and doing, that would be the best, and nobody would have to focus on the fact that I was gay. And if they didn't have to focus on the fact that I was gay, then I could hide that part of myself and I wouldn't have to focus on the fact that I was gay. So I got caught up in this hustle culture that I got to do. That was from my own story. And if I'm the best, then great. But then I never realized that I could break that cycle, and I have, and realized that like I get in this system again with the rest of us, that we gotta have more, gotta have more money, gotta have more this, gotta have more things, gotta have all that. We gotta do, and more, and it's literally a fucking trap. And I woke up to that. Like, I was like, this is disturbing. Like, no. And look at our planet with overconsumption. Like, look at all the shit in our ocean. Look at what we're doing by being in this fucking system. That do. Why? Question it. Why? Well, why do we have to do it? Why is this what success is? Why is it all tied to financial stuff? And I don't get to where I'm at today, like on the do part. You got to transform that. You got to dive into the shadow work. We're going to talk about that. And people, they start waking up to this, but it's so easy to go back to sleep because it is so much easier to just go back to sleep and go the way things were than to actually do the work to wake up. But you got to fucking do the work. That 9 to 5. That money-driven mindset, you have a 9 to 5 job. Like, you gotta have one job your whole life. No, I'm here to tell you that's lies. Like, it's all a construct. That's what they're telling you have to do. Making money is hard work. Like, that was something I was like, that we're conditioned. All these conditionings. I woke up to all these conditioning that making money is hard. No, it's not. Making money is hard whenever you're doing and doing stuff that you're not supposed to do in a job that you fucking hate. Yeah, of course it's gonna be hard because you're not in alignment with what it is. Like, everything is an energy, everything's a frequency. We have to be in alignment, and when we're in alignment and we design success and a life that's based on our own like version of success, our own definition of success, then things just magically start to transform you. And making money is not hard. Being in alignment, that's hard. But that comes with waking up. That also comes with when you do it, finally the rewards start coming in, then money just flocks to you. There is more than enough in the universe. okay? But you're in a system that keeps you asleep to that. Thinks you've got to work hard, 9 to 5, hard, do. No. Ooh, this is a big one. Healing equals medication. Realizing, big pharma, honey, oh, it is a system in itself to keep you fucking sick. Why do we want cures for cancer and pills that will actually help the disease if you could take things once and then they don't need you anymore? They don't want that. They want money. They want money. I'm literally going over things of where we're conditioned, where people are asleep in their life that you gotta fucking wake up to and realize that you are in this system. Your body is a healing freaking machine. It can heal itself. Like, yes, medication, as a nursing background, it has its purpose. Like, yeah, take the pill. Hell yeah, I love me some Prozac. How to get those brain chemicals correct. But there's also things, there's shrooms, there is microdosing, there is therapy, there is NLP, there's all sorts of things that you can do. There's frequency medicine that you could do to help heal the body, that you don't have to stay in a system that's stuck. Like, and here I am, I'm like, I'm telling you, when my face blew up and I came back into this, all these things, this is what I literally wrote down. This is what I started waking up to. All the stuff that I realized, this is a lot. I'm like, what life is this? I'm like, because it's not something I want to wake up, I want to be in anymore. So it's like healing equals medication. No, it doesn't. Your identity is what they tell you. From the moment that you are born, honey, they give you a name, they give you a gender, they give you a label, they give you a religion, they give you your beliefs up until you are 7 years old. Like, you come into this like basically a wiped computer. And the first 7 years of your life, you basically live in a theta brainwave state, which is where you're like almost like a hypnotic state, where you can absorb information. You're just absorbing. You don't have your own programs yet. Okay? So it's like your parents have the kid. Your parents are your biggest teachers. They are programming you with their beliefs, their systems, all of their thoughts, all of their religion, all of their conditioning. And then you, at 7 years old, that's your identity and that's what you're functioning from. Like, okay, you're basically a pre-programmed computer. And of course you go through life and all this stuff. And then you realize the disruptions happen. You start to wake up, be like, this feels ick. This is not right. You know, we wake up to the fact that like gender is not binary. It is not male and female. We see it and people are like, oh, it's not natural. It's gotta be male. Fuck you. Like, things happen all the time in nature. Like, look at with births whenever people are literally sharing, like they've got one set of legs and genitalia, but there's two upper bodies to it, two functioning individuals. Like that, well, people, that's not, and we're okay with that. That happens in nature. We were literally just on a hike the other day and saw a tree with one trunk and that two branches, like it was like two coming out of it. But people are like, it's gotta be this way, that way. Anything else is weird. Anything else is wrong. Anything else is whatever. Like, no, like you are programmed with your religion. I grew up primitive Baptist. Have to literally believe like there's heaven, there's hell, there's God. If you're anything other than this, you're going to hell. If you're this, you're going to have like all these things. That's what was programmed in me. That's how I go about living life. Whew. And they don't tell you that like it can be so detrimental, but you're still trying to live a life with these conditionings on you. And that's why it feels icky. That's why some days you wake up and that's why the disruptions happen. You're just like, this isn't mine. Like, no, like enough is enough. Like, fuck off. All the noise on the airplane, you put on your noise canceling headphones and you're like, stop the noise and realize what's your programming and what's not. I realized I was running on a MacBook that had a lot of shit programs. The other thing, realize spirituality equals religion. No, it does not. Like they tell you it is, but no, I got more from nature than I ever did in the four walls of a church. But here I am like thinking I've got to fit in like spirituality equals religion. No, honey, I took that shit back. The other one, being nice. Oh, this is another one. Oh, fuck, this is good. Being nice equals being good. No, that is basically people pleasing in disguise. Like I wrote down people pleasing is just self-betrayal in slow motion. And it's like this nice face that we have, like, no, that's betraying your own self. It's disgusting. When really honesty is what we're doing. Like, you can be nice, but like even whenever you have boundaries and when you have, like, you stand up for yourself and you go into all this stuff, sometimes that's being good. Sometimes it's not being nice. Sometimes boundaries aren't nice. Sometimes standing up for yourself isn't nice, but that doesn't mean you're a bad person. And that's what I thought though. I was like, oh, I can't speak up for myself in this industry. I can't speak for woke up to it. Reality also is what we can see. Lord, have you looked at the visibility chart of a human being? Like, we can see Roy G. Biv. Okay, the chart's like this big. The spectrum that we can see is like this much of it. So literally, if you, like, we're believed, like, you can only see what's in front of you. Like, boom, 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 that's your reality. Like, if that's the case, you're missing 99% of the reality. There's everything out there, like, that you can't even comprehend. But yeah, we're so conditioned. Oh, no, if we can't see it, oh, like, energy's not real. Oh, okay. Like, ghosts and spirits aren't real. Oh, okay. Like, they're just on a different wavelength that you've been conditioned to see. The human being is such a powerful vessel. We don't even know, like, we're using like 1% of our capabilities because, again, they want you to stay asleep. They don't want you to wake up to that because if you woke up, you can't be controlled. It drives me bonkers. Oh my God. Okay. The system, like I've said, wants you asleep because an awakened sovereign person is impossible to control. The world is designed to keep you fucking small. Small people are easy to control. People with no opinions, easy to control. We ain't doing that anymore. That was left behind in 2024, honey. We are moving forward. We are taking that fucking space without apology. But that can only happen when you wake up to the bullshit and you choose to do something about it instead of stay asleep. You got to start questioning everything. Everything is a construct. And if that's difficult for you to swallow, well, honey, relax your throat because it's going down anyways. You're going to take this pill because it's the reality that you need, hunty, okay? Start questioning everything. Why do I believe that? Well, because somebody told me to believe that. Well, why did they tell? Like, question everything. That helps you wake up. And when you can start thinking for yourself and have that honest conversation with yourself, oh, that's where the magic happens, okay? Start deconditioning yourself. Create a life that actually feels good to you. Like, I looked up and I created a cool life and I thought it felt good to me for a while. It served its purpose. And I don't hate on that chapter of my life. It sounds like I'm doing that, but I don't hate on that. But now I'm really like, once I'm awake to that, I'm like, wow, like, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do stuff. I'm gonna create a life based on what my desires are, based on my version of success, based on what I want to be called. Hell, I just changed my name. My name, I didn't identify that anymore. Like, Oracle Ryan Blackwood, honey, Joshua Charles Davis served a purpose. Great, love that. But like, I don't identify. That was the name that was given to me. That was a name that was tied into biblical. It was a name that, like, a lot of my family is still racist. A lot of my family is still homophobic, and that's generational lines. And I don't attach with that anymore. And I'm like, nope, change that. I'm like, oh, but you got to keep your name. No, I don't. People tell me that I had to do that. Why would you change your name? Because I fucking wanted to. Again, woke up. The moment I woke up is the moment I took control of my life again. I was no longer asleep, and I couldn't go back to sleep. This is what I did. This is what things ran through my head. I wanted to share that with you. So if you're thinking these things, you're like, oh, I can't think that. Yes, you can. I want to normalize this for you. But the thing that's not okay is to start to questioning things and be like, oh shit, okay, I'm just going to go back to sleep. Don't fucking go to sleep. Don't stay asleep. Wake up to this shit. Question it. Because that is where you take control of your life and we can move to the next thing, which is transformation, which is so incredible. Okay, I know that was a lot, but the wake-up call, it is a lot. And there's a lot to fucking wake up to. Like, I could keep on for hours. Like, the stuff I didn't talk to you about because I'm like, I don't want you to glaze over. I literally could talk to you for hours about this stuff. All the things that we are conditioned to. Start questioning it. You know, not only am I here to disrupt you, I'm also here to help you wake the fuck up. And if you're coming by this by chance, I hope you, and you're like, what is this kid talking about? Okay, cool. I might not be your cup of tea right now, but in a few years after you have your disruption, it's fine. I'll be here. You can come through the programs. You can come join the community. You can do all that stuff because it's right. As Ariana Grande said in Wicked, my favorite part, she's like, right. She's like, we are popular. No, we are awake. Yes, bitch. That's what we are. Okay? Oh, it's a lot. I believe in you. You can do this. Okay? That's just pillar 2. We got 2 more to go. It's fine. It's fine. We can do this. Just stay hydrated, okay? All right. Thanks for tuning into that. And know that if you're waking up, you are worthy of it. It's okay. You're not going crazy. It is normal. It's okay to question everything. I love you. You're worthy of this transformation. You are worthy of everything that you deserve. And I love you bunches. And I'll see you in the next episode when we do pillar 3, which is transformation.